Hello and thank you for watching. I'm Ashley Van Dyke with Advantage Software, and on today's video, Number Conversion, Delayed Number Triggers, I'm going to show you how you can associate number triggers with words that aren't necessarily right next to the numbers they're going to be impacting. Delayed number triggers are controlled entirely through dictionary entries, and there are two ways to use them. So here I've written first a date of birth, October 19th, 54. But you note that around this number, I don't have any kind of date trigger. But up here, attached to the word date, which is several entries and a paragraph break ahead, I've attached a number trigger to the word date. But instead of just pound D for date, I've done open curly bracket, pound sign, capital D, greater than, close curly bracket. And what this is going to do is it's going to apply the date trigger to the next number that is uttered by one of your participants. And in this case, that's going to apply to this series of numbers. And so this is going to automatically format this series of numbers. And I've done the same thing here, where I've asked, what was the date you retired? And someone answered only 96. And so this date trigger is going to format 96 as a year. But down here, I've done something a little bit differently. You'll notice that this date trigger has two greater than signs. And this means that it is going to continue to format all numbers that it hears as a date until you tell it otherwise. And so what I've done here is I've written a bunch of strokes before I actually get to a date. And then here I've written a full date, January 13th, 1960. And then down here I've written 96 again. Once I'm done letting the extended number converter convert any numbers, I've turned it off by hitting a quantity stroke. And this is just any other number trigger will disable the continuous delayed number trigger. So this one with the two greater than signs works until I turn it off. And I turn it off by using a different number trigger. And open curly bracket, pound, capital Q for quantity, close curly bracket is an easy one to have. What I'm going to do now is translate this file, and we'll see how all of these dates are automatically formatted correctly, simply because they're associated with words that I have told Eclipse should produce date formatted numbers. So here I've written date with the regular delayed number trigger, and this will apply the date formatting to the next number that is written. And so in that case, this is this, 10/19/54, and it correctly formatted this as a date. Next, I've written date once again, and again, this has only one greater than sign, so it's going to apply to only one number following. And in this case, it applied to 96 and formatted it as a year with the apostrophe appropriately. Now here I've assigned the extended delayed number trigger with two greater than signs to the word year. And this is going to format any number that follows into a date format. And so here I see 86 was correctly formatted into a year with the apostrophe. And here, January 13th, 1960 was correctly formatted as a date. And lastly, 96 was again formatted correctly as a year. And at the end here, I've struck my quant stroke, designated as open curly bracket, pound sign, capital Q, close curly bracket. And this will turn off the extended formatting that I turned on when I wrote the word year. And so you can use delayed number triggers in two different ways. You can use it for just the next number, or if you know that someone is going to be reading a series of numbers, you can associate a word or a trigger stroke using the extended delayed trigger with double greater than signs, and that will apply that formatting to any number that appears. If someone is referencing section numbers over and over and over in their dialogue, such as a judge during jury charges or something like that, you could assign one of your custom number templates with a delayed trigger in order to automatically format all of those numbers the way that they should be. And once you're done and ready to stop formatting numbers that way, just hit a stroke like quantity to turn it off. Delayed number triggers are amazing, and that's because you can associate them with words that don't necessarily reside next to the number. Classic number triggers that were just open curly bracket, pound sign, and then D or N or G or W or O or any of the other ones followed by just a closed curly bracket, only work if the number that they're impacting is directly before or after them. If you add the delayed number trigger, it works on the next numbers that you write, and it can be over paragraph breaks and many words away. And if you use the open-ended delayed number trigger, the persistent delayed number trigger, with double greater than signs at the end of the trigger, then that will just work until you tell it to turn off. This can save you a ton of editing time if you're doing financials, or if you're doing some other calls or some other proceedings where a series of numbers is constantly being written or referenced to. Don't forget that Advantage Software offers anytime support. Tech support can be reached with any question anytime, including weekends and holidays, at 772-288-3266. Email support is also available at support@eclipsecat.com. Thank you for watching this video. Please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so that you'll be notified when we publish new content in the future. Thank you so much and have a great day.